Hi, I'm Rodney Evans. I'm a partner at The Ready, which is a future of work consultancy. I am also a former HR business partner, and I want to talk to you today about the future of HR. I know firsthand how much potential lives inside that function, and I also know that the deck has been stacked against y'all. We think it's time to change that. Most folks I know went into HR because we thought that work could use some work. And then we ended up in this function that isn't designed to flex or really help the business to flex, even as the world continues to throw us curveballs. We realize that if HR can evolve, it can lead the charge for the rest of the business into the future of work. We already know that the mindsets and the desire is there. And let's be honest, that is the hardest part of this. We're just here to teach you the moves. We want to be your ride or die in leading the business into the future of work for real. Over the last several months, we've done a bunch of research and testing, and we've identified 6 key capabilities that HR teams will need in order to create and sustain the change that we're talking about. Capabilities like contracting, facilitation, experimentation are crucial, not just to HR, but in how HR shows up to the business, from the C-suite to individual contributors as a new kind of partner. Strengthening and growing these skills will be the fuel that HR orgs need to become more independent, more resilient, and to reach the more advanced levels of the maturity model that I'm about to show you. With these core skills in mind, we developed a 5-stage maturity model that serves as a map you can use to orient and chart your progress toward the future of your HR organization. The new ways of working, roles, and structures in each phase are unlocked as you practice and hone those skills. We interviewed dozens of HR leaders about what's working and not working so well in HR today. Pretty consistent themes emerged, like HR being under-resourced and overworked, generally underappreciated, and that it's hard for the business to quantify the value that HR creates. That has to change. In order to change that, we have to directly confront the capacity crunch. We have to free you up to do cross-functional work better, smarter, and faster. From there, we can start to optimize the more foundational aspects of how HR works with new ways of teaming and using technology. So, whether you're at level 1, where generalists are still hanging on to everything, or you're knocking at the door of level 5 using AI to manage a talent marketplace, there are a number of ways to get started with us. We can do an assessment, a starter workshop, or dig right into a partnership and learn by doing. Whatever your state of readiness, leveling up will lead to better talent retention, more easily tracked value creation, and ultimately a happier, healthier, more highly respected industry at large. That's our aim, and we think it's yours too. So let's dig into this maturity model to get a sense of what leveling up really means. Most companies sit or are stuck around level 2, which we call the brokerage. The HRBPs are like an intermediary. They report to HR leadership, they're beholden to the internal clients, and they act as a kind of quarterback to the functional teams, centers of excellence, and or shared services. The competing agendas and the mixed accountabilities mean that this role is inherently compromised. It can neither be the strategic partner it wants to be to the business, nor can it deliver the seamless operations that would be needed to enhance the employee experience. We want to get you out of that compromise. The compromises baked into level 2 are at the core of what's holding people functions back. To advance to level 3, the Hollywood model, we make this foundational shift that's based on learnings from companies like Netflix and Disney. What Hollywood would call a movie, we would call a mission. Missions are chartered and funded to operate with a lot of autonomy, allowing teams to sprint toward their goals while they learn new ways of working and then disband when the mission is accomplished. Missions replace those dysfunctional side of desk, extracurricular, cross-functional hustle projects that never seem to get done. They're temporary teams doing the most important, non-persistent work, from reinventing a hiring process to restructuring a department. They help us organize roles and skills around priorities rather than trying to chop work up and assign it based on an existing org chart. And just like in Hollywood, the movie studio doesn't go away just because the movie is released. We have these persistent teams in the people platform. Those are the solid foundation of our organization, and missions are the flexibility. Here's the thing. Getting this right will unlock capacity that is hiding in plain sight right now. The crunch between simultaneously having to react to every emergent event while trying to be strategic and innovative for the business is what keeps HR stuck. The Hollywood model is a lever to get us moving. Let's be honest, there are a couple of HR roles that have needed a makeover for years, and we're reinventing them to bring this model to life. We want to shift HR business partners into a new role of HR coach. Here, they're helping the business to identify the most important missions it wants to accomplish. They're learning new ways of working that will serve those mission based teams, but their home team as well. And what about the change agents you've got kicking around, your org effectiveness or org design or strategy and ops folks? They're going to go from making decks of sticks and bricks and doing assessments and the occasional offsite to being market designers, helping turn system issues into missions. Market designers create the kind of environment where missions are accomplished. They do the kind of job that we do as consultants on big transformation projects. They're enabling an HR organization that can keep changing. With HR business coaches and market designers in place, we can get missions underway, stop compromising, and get after those priorities that might have been lingering for a while. Whether you're in the business of software development, appliance manufacturing, game development, or actually making movies, there's a common thread here. Organizational operating models that support flexibility, adaptability, and market-based principles are on the rise. We developed our maturity model with a deep understanding of these trends, tested in our work with hundreds of organizations over the years, and refined through conversations with the most progressive HR thinkers out there. A lot of the big consulting firms purport to have a deep understanding of the future of work, while at the same time running extractive organizations that rely on a churn and burn labor model. We don't think that's the future. They'll come in and survey everybody, and they'll give you back a very well-researched PowerPoint deck and tell you what to do. But they'll leave you to figure out the execution, and they won't be around when it fails. And if you hire them to execute, you'll probably get a very detailed Gantt chart to go with your PowerPoint deck. Not to mention that a lot of the research and insights in the deck will come from your organization itself. Maybe it'll feel good to have confirmation that you and your team were right, but we want your organization to evolve as a habit, not once. Our approach is to coach and facilitate the work in the work. That means getting at the new what, your missions, through a different how, mission-based teaming. We'll teach you new ways of working inside of these teams so that they're learning how to clarify roles, make safe to try decision-making, and have an operating rhythm of very effective meetings. As we level up in maturity, we're going to scale what's working throughout the HR organization. Stakeholdering around a bunch of recommendations doesn't move the business forward. You know this already. You've already seen this movie. We have to start by starting, learn by doing, and aim for actual progress over planned perfection. After months of incubation and testing, we are so excited to be bringing this work out into the world. If you'd like to get rolling with an organizational assessment, a starter workshop, or you feel ready to get after your first missions, email us at fohr@theready.com. See you soon.